Hello, everyone. My name is Bryn Krug, and I'm the editor-in-chief here at the Northern Star.
And I'm Sarah Rose, the managing editor, and welcome back to The Trend, a Northern Star pop culture podcast.
Each week on The Trend, we talk about a couple of trending topics from Instagram, X, TikTok, you name it. And then we also, at the end, will rank them from worst to best and say whether or not they're in or out.
Let's get into it.
All right, so our big item for the day is the Super Bowl. Which I'm not going to lie, I did not tune into. I did keep checking the score.
You did? Okay, good.
I literally had, a Google search that was, Super Bowl score, and I just would, refresh every once in a while. Because I wanted the Eagles to win.
Yes.
So I was just making sure they win.
Yes.
Because, I don't know, I'm like, okay, Chiefs, you won 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I'm not, a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I'm not into, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. So I was like, let's switch it up. Yeah, I don't know anything about, actually, the teams or rooting for them for a sports perspective, but I was Team Eagles, so I'm glad they won.
No, me too. I mean, I'm tired of the Chiefs winning. Nobody wanted this matchup to happen. I thought it would be cool if, if it was Bills Commanders or, the Lions made it to the Super Bowl. That would have been sick. But I was rooting for the Eagles, of course, because I'm tired of the Chiefs. I love a good underdog story. And yeah, boy, did they win. They blew them out.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
When I was first checking, it would be a 17-0, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a big difference. And then I think after halftime, right, the Chiefs started scoring a little.
But
were they scoreless the first half?
They were scoreless.
Yeah.
Wait, I think they were either scoreless or they were 6, because I think it was 6 to whatever 34.
Oh, okay. It was 7-0 in the first, 17-0 in the second. So
okay,
going into halftime, they were at 0 points. 10-6 in third.
Yeah, the Eagles had scored 10 more points.
Yeah, and then
the Chiefs got
in
on
the
board
fourth
with
quarter,
6.
they only scored 6, and Kansas City scored 16, and then they went into overtime. But it was pretty much Eagles leading the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my God, so happy.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna be talking from a sports perspective.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking from a pop culture perspective of the things that went on, because the Super Bowl is all about the football, but it is also very famous for other things, such as the big halftime show that happened.
Yeah, it's such an event. We have halftime show commercials, and it's everyone's having a Super Bowl party.
Right.
So it is totally a social thing.
It's a holiday, honestly.
But yeah, so Kendrick Lamar was the one who performed at this year's halftime show, and he's just coming off of his success with getting Record of the Year, Song of the Year for Not Like Us at the Grammys. So
super hot right now. I was so excited for Kendrick. I was even more excited when they announced that SZA was going to be a guest. And oh my God, his performance was so good. I was watching it live, and he listened to the people. I'll just say first, he performed every single song that people wanted to hear, or just about every song. I don't know his exact set list, but I know he played DNA, he played Humble, he played GNX, and then Luther was the one where SZA came out on, which is from his new album, which is it was so good. And then they played All the Stars together. Everyone wanted that one to play, and he did it. And then he kept teasing Not Like Us. He kept saying, they want me to play their favorite song, but they love to sue. And you could hear, a few seconds of it playing. And then at the end, that was his last song. And that was so good because so many memes came out of that.
Mm-hmm.
The most famous one was when he was singing his line, "Say Jake, I heard you like him young." Do you know this, Bryn? He turned to the camera and he just gave a really sneaky smile.
Oh my God, I did not see that.
Oh my God. It's so funny, and it's all over Twitter too, that screenshot.
Yeah. If you aren't familiar with the lyrics of the song,
it's all aimed
at
Drake.
Yeah, so it's a diss on Drake, and one thing that Kendrick calls out is that Drake allegedly is interested in younger people and a pedophile, and that is what Kendrick is claiming. So yeah, he also, there's a line, like you just said, like the, hey Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
And all over Twitter, people have screenshotted that and is like, and they're saying, like, bro put on the most menacing smile. You know Drake was mad.
Yeah. No, but another line in the song is trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. And, you know, the double meaning of the chord A minor and A minor is in someone under the age of 18.
Yes.
But I saw a clip of literally, like, the whole stadium going, like, A minor.
Yes. See, I was watching with my boyfriend, and we were, like, singing and dancing to it, so we couldn't hear the stadium, but we rewatched the performance afterward, and the entire stadium was singing A minor. They were also singing Mustard, and DJ Mustard came on. Oh my God, it was so good. A lot of people were saying they didn't like it, and I can understand why, because Kendrick was quiet. He kind of sung quiet, like you couldn't really hear him. Mm-hmm. And also it wasn't like super like extravagant or spectacular like Usher's or Rihanna's was, because there wasn't like too much dancing, but which I understand. But we do have to mention, because it's super important, there was a lot of symbolism in his performance that I want to point out, and it related a lot to Black culture, to just pop culture in general, because you had Samuel L. Jackson came out dressed as Uncle Sam. There was a lot of metaphors. The whole like theme, I guess, was that it was a game, because the camera pans out when Kendrick comes out on stage, and there's like game controllers, and then Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam is like, let's begin. All of Kendrick's dancers were dressed in blue, white, and red. What's blue, white, and red? The American flag. And there was a point where they had formed the American flag, but Kendrick was in the middle, which represented the disconnected flag, which represents America right now, because we're very divided. So there was a lot of symbolism. And it was very smart. Kendrick is a genius with his lyrics and with the way he crafts his performances. But also something interesting about A minor that you brought up, Bryn. He was wearing a chain which had a lowercase a on his neck, and it stood for A minor.
Oh my God.
I didn't get that until after. And another thing, because he's petty and we know this, is Serena Williams made an appearance.
Yeah.
She was crip walking, and I didn't understand that reference until, again, I went to Twitter.
I had heard that they dated. I think it's like not confirmed, but I heard that Serena and Drake dated.
If they did, then I think it was her that broke up with him.
Yeah, but Drake also previously dated SZA, who Kendrick had. So it's literally like,
yep.
Yeah, again, it's like, this is brutal for Drake. Kendrick's diss on him. Wins funny. Multiple Grammys. Now he's performing it at the Super Bowl. Everyone in the world is singing along, including Drake's exes. Like, that has got to sting.
And you can say that this was Kendrick getting the last word, because at the very end of his performance, he like ended his set, and in the like stadium, it looked like lights, but I think it was a screen. It said "Game Over," and then the whole thing shut down. So it was like he was telling Drake, "Nah, I won. It's game over." And Drake hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think I've seen mostly positive things about his Super Bowl performance, and I do understand if it is symbolic why it might have been more low-key in some aspects.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, the Super Bowl is meant for really extravagant performances. Like, the one that always comes to my mind is like the giant like tiger that like Katy Perry had.
Perry was peak.
Yeah, which it's like maybe that's just me looking through childhood Super Bowls in rose-colored glasses, but like I do feel like it should be extravagant and blow you away, especially because like you know they have the budget for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do agree that his wasn't spectacular at all, but I really enjoyed it just because I love Kendrick.
Yeah. Another big, like, pop culture thing at the Super Bowl, kind of unfortunately, was Taylor Swift's present. Mm-hmm. Because Taylor Swift has been dating Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce mm-hmm. for a while now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of have been like the it couple. But they were dating last Super Bowl too.
They were.
And so the camera, like, people were already talking about it then. Like, the audience view, like, the camera kept switching to show Taylor Swift's reactions. So people were kind of, like, annoyed about that. Mm-hmm. And then people were already talking about, like, this year, like, oh, how many times do you think they're going to show Taylor Swift in the audience? And I think that was a reason, you know, people didn't want the Chiefs to win, to be like, oh, why? So it could be, like, the Taylor Swift show. Every time Taylor Swift was, like, shown on screen, the Eagles fans would all boo. Which I think is kind of funny. But also, like, it's not her fault that they're showing her on screen.
That's true.
Like, she's genuinely just there to support her boyfriend and to have fun. So it's like, if I was in her position, I wouldn't have done anything different. Yeah. I would be at the game. So it's like, she's not doing anything wrong by being there. It's like, the people who are in the wrong here are the camera crew who keep showing her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, so I do feel slightly bad for her, like, being booed, because it's like, this they're not booing her, they're booing the choice to show her, which she didn't make.
Yeah, and it was a video, I don't know if you saw it, Bryn, where she was sitting next to Ice Spice, and it was like a side view of her because they're sitting in the box suites. Mm-hmm. And you could hear the people booing, and she just side-eyes the camera like, what is going on?
Yeah. That would have to be uncomfortable.
I know. I do feel bad for her. Like, I feel like we talked about this before, but no, it's interesting because she went away Grammy-less a few weeks ago, and now her boyfriend Travis is ringless for the Super Bowl. And I think he announced something like he's thinking about retiring from the Super Bowl because low-key he got kind of fat. I'm not gonna lie, I saw him on the field. It was like,
Yeah, but I guess their reign is over.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taylor Swift was there. Also, a few celebrities I saw that were there was Anne Hathaway. She was an Eagles fan. Kevin Hart was there, Eagles fan. Paul Rudd was there. He was rooting for the Chiefs. And I think that was all I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, I also saw something where this girl on TikTok was like, I remember back in 2018 when the Eagles won the Super Bowl and Trump had invited them to the White House, but so many of them had declined the invite that his feelings got hurt and he just uninvited the whole team.
Oh, my God.
And so that's probably why he was rooting for the Chiefs this time. I'm so happy the Eagles won.
And then another big part of the Super Bowl is commercials.
Commercials.
Yeah, we actually published a piece on, like, the best commercials.
We did. Check
so northernstar.info. So I read that. So I watched, like, the clips of the commercials, but I didn't watch any of them live. What was your experience like seeing them live?
I liked them. A lot of people were saying this year's weren't as funny, but I don't really, like, keep track of that stuff. I was laughing. My favorite ones, so there was a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup one, which I liked. They were promoting their new molten lava cups, which look so good, by the way. Mm-hmm. I need to pick some up. And that was really funny.
Save one for me.
No, literally. At the end, like, a grandma was, like, in a scooter, and she almost fell into in a volcano.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The premise was, like, they love the lava cup so much that they're going to try to eat real lava. Like, everyone was trying, like, the police was trying to stop them, or security.
That one. And then another one, funny one, was also put into the piece, go check it out, was singer Seal was in a Mountain Dew's Baja Blast commercial, and he was singing Kiss from a Rose on, like, a rock. And it was so creepy because they had his face on a seal body. And that one was funny. It was memorable. Yeah.
My favorite was the Doritos one, which Doritos consistently kills it with Super Bowl commercials. I feel like if I were to cite one company that was the best for Super Bowl, it's Doritos. But it was, like, about a guy, like, an alien like UFO was like trying to get Doritos and he was like gripping onto them and not letting them go. Yeah, it was just your classic Doritos Super Bowl commercial, but it was funny.
That was funny. Another one that reminded me of that was a Tostitos one where it was also an alien coming to bring like Tostitos, and then he's trying to go back on the UFO, but the door closes on him, and he's really ugly looking, but it like squishes him, and I think he's dead. That was funny too.
The one that I'm now remembering, last year, I feel like the biggest Super Bowl commercial, because it played, I didn't even watch the whole Super Bowl. I watched like the end, and it played 100 times, was the ooh, ooh, Temu. the
Temu
commercials.
My God. The Temu commercial.
That was rough.
Did we talk about that on the podcast?
We must have.
I remember that. That one was so annoying. This one, the only commercial that played a lot of times was this cowboy hat one. I don't even know what it was for. But it was like these people wearing cowboy hats, but it was like it was molded to their skin, and it was like the color of their skin, so it wasn't even a hat. And it looked really weird, really creepy. I don't like it. It was Tubi. Tubi's cowboy skin hats.
Cowboy skin hats.
Every like news headline is Tubi's bizarre Super Bowl ad. Watch Tubi's fleshy hat ad. Yeah, I didn't like that one, but it stuck out to me. So I think it was during a timeout, or like right when the commercial break ended and we were back into the Super Bowl, they were comparing prices and dollar amounts of things at this Super Bowl compared to the first NFC championship in the 60s. Ooh. So they were like, this is the average ticket price was $12 in the 60s to go to the NFC championship, because it wasn't called the Super Bowl back then. And now the average price is like $5,000. But they showed how much in a 30-second commercial cost to run during the Super Bowl, and guess how much?
At least $1 million.
$8 million for a 30-second commercial.
Yeah.
They had showed that, and my jaw was on the floor. So think about all the ones that show multiple times. 8 million, 8 million, 8 million.
That's
crazy.
Insane. Yeah, and okay, I'm probably wrong with this. Like, I'm not in advertising, but like, I wonder how. I mean, they must affect sales, but like in my mind, like Doritos. Okay, I'm a big Doritos person. Me too. I buy them constantly and have like a bowl a day. Like I actually.
You're real for that.
I actually eat 2 bowls a day. I eat so many Doritos. It's actually insane. But like I feel like there's such like a household name. Like you go to if you want chips, you're gonna see them at the grocery store. I feel like for the average person, regardless of like what the Super Bowl commercial is for Doritos and how many times they see it, like I think they should at least do one. But like it's not like they need multiple time slots, because it's like Doritos is gonna remain the same amount of like relevance to them, and it's not like it's gonna make it more of a recognizable name.
Yeah, I mean, if they got the money, then might as well.
Yeah,
but they're always gonna be a household staple snack for sure. So another thing that was a lot of speculation that was supposed to happen during the ad breaks was a lot of movie trailers were supposed to be released, and I saw a post about it. They were supposed to release Lilo and Stitch, Marvel's Thunderbolts, How to Train Your Dragon, and I think that's all the ones I cared about. And I was watching it live. None of the trailers showed, and I was so pissed about that. And then I find out they released after the Super Bowl. Oh. So I was like, okay. And Marvel released their Thunderbolts trailer, which looks so good, by the way. Months ago when they released the teaser, it got a lot of, like, good, it was received really well. Because we know Marvel's been on just a down streak ever since Endgame. But this one looks really good. I'm really excited. And I watched the trailer this morning, and it looks really good. And then How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. We got a sneak peek of a scene from the movie. It looks so good. They did really good with the CGI. Toothless looks exactly like the animated movie. Hiccup, I forgot the actor's name, but he is so good. We got our first sneak peek at Astrid. I don't know the actress's name, but she was in she's in a show that I love. But so good. Costumes look great. CGI looks awesome. I'm so excited for this movie. And then Lilo and Stitch didn't get a trailer, but there was a little teaser clip of Stitch running through the field and everyone trying to catch him, and the announcers are like, what is that? Is that a dog? Is it a rat? And so then that was promoting the Lilo and Stitch movie.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited to see how they're both going to turn out. I feel like Lilo and Stitch should need to be made live action.
No.
I think How to Train Your Dragon could be really cool live action, but I am sick of the trend of turning everything into a live action when it's the entire point of Disney is that it is animated movies for children.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole point. It's you can't think of any more ideas. You apparently can't have any good movies marketed to children.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's they're rehashing the old ideas to try to get people in our generation to, take another dip and rewatch these movies, which is no, know your demographic and come up with new ideas. It just seems so lazy. So I'm anti the live action.
It does. And other companies like DreamWorks and I think even Pixar, they've been coming out with original movie ideas and they've been really successful.
Yeah.
And Disney's just not doing it.
Well, I think How to Train Your Dragon is DreamWorks.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the Super Bowl. I'd say it was good. I'm happy with the results.
I loved it.
But another big thing that happened this week, it's actually related to the Super Bowl too.
It
is Kanye West, also known as Ye, went on Twitter, formerly known as X, and posted a bunch of horribly offensive, insane, racist, horrible tweets.
Yeah. He went on another manic episode.
Yeah.
As I'm calling it. And he said, I don't know where he said this, but I was told by some friends that he said he was doing a social experiment. I don't know how true that is. But no, it was over several days. There were a ton of misogynistic comments, anti-Semitic, homophobic messages. It was just horrible. Not really surprising coming from him just because he's known to do these things. But, no, this was crazy. His account, he deleted his Twitter account, by the way. So we can't go back and see them.
Yeah. No, I'm reading an article and, the things that he made, super anti-Semitic I can't say that word. Super anti-Semitic comments and literally said that he loved Hitler. It was insane.
Yeah, that he's Nazi.
Yeah. And his account even had a sensitive content warning label because he was using offensive slurs, and a bunch of celebrities David Schwimmer, who's I looked it up and his family is Jewish, and Piers Morgan were calling for him to be banned from the platform, which I don't think he would have been banned because Elon has kind of been under fire for sharing certain sentiments.
Yeah.
But it kind of ended when Kanye West actually ended up deleting his account.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read out his final tweet. Which also, when I talk about a post on X, I will still say tweet.
Oh, yeah. I'm not calling it X.
In this final message that Kanye gave to X, he used the word Twitter. Elon renaming it X is actually the stupidest thing in the world, and everyone still says Twitter, and it's actually insane. But anyway, Kanye said, "I'm logging out of Twitter. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent. It has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and attention. Till we connect again." I think that was supposed to say, like, till we connect again. I don't know. Good afternoon and good night. Like, the fact that he's literally saying, like, he's spreading, like, sickening hate, and then he's saying, "Thank you, Elon, for giving me the platform where I was able to say these things."
It's so, I hate him, and it so checks out that, of course, he didn't get banned, because what Elon should have done is, because he saw it. You know, everyone was talking about it. He should have banned Kanye immediately and came out with an announcement saying, "We don't accept this on X, whatever. Like, it's against our policy. It's just spewing all this hate. It's nonsense." But no, he didn't do any of it. He stayed quiet.
Yeah.
Continued, let Kanye do his thing, and it's horrible.
Yeah, it's honestly sickening, and I'm glad he's off the platform now, and I hope, I mean, people always make the joke, they're like, "Oh, I just have to remember, like, Kanye made Graduation." And, like, that joke was funny when, like, Kanye stuff maybe first started coming out, but, like, now it's, like, he's genuinely such an evil person who feels as though he can get away with anything, and it's just wants attention all the time. And it's so gross, and it's like, do not give this man any kind of platform.
No, don't give him any money. We talked last week about his scene at the Grammys where he just wanted attention. Here he is again. And it won't ever stop. No one's, like, keeping him in check. It's scary. But yeah, horrible person. It's just, I just can't believe that those tweets went out. Especially the anti-Semitic ones.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, those should have been banned immediately.
Yeah, it's insane, but I'm glad his account is deleted.
Oh, me too. Sadly, unfortunately, he will be back.
Ugh, yeah. Do you want to get into the ranking?
I would love to.
Last place,
Kanye's
Twitter rant.
Boot
Obviously out. And then I'm going to rank, like, the Super Bowl subtopics.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Taylor Swift last.
Yes.
We didn't need to see her. But also, like, and that's also out.
Yes.
But I don't think it's not like it was her fault that they were showing her. Like, she was not the one making that choice. But, yeah. Then next, I'll say commercials.
Commercials, but in.
Commercials are in.
They weren't bad.
But nothing crazy. And it's not, I feel like a lot of times, like, with, like, the Temu one or with, like, Puppy Monkey Baby. Like, you guys remember that?
Yes.
Like, there's commercials that are, like, plunged into, like, the pop culture scene and, like, everyone's quoting them. And I don't feel like we really had that besides maybe, like, the Seal Baja Blast one. But, yeah, and then first place and in the halftime show. Looked like a good show.
Bren, watch it.
I will. I've seen clips. But yeah. But next year's halftime show, I want to see it extravagant. Like, I want to see the biggest production I've ever seen and be blown away.
Me too. I wonder who it's going to be. All right, guys, that concludes our episode. I think we're on episode 28. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.